There are moments in life when everything feels still yet heavy. When you're surrounded by people but somehow you feel completely unseen. When the world keeps moving forward and you're just standing there, wondering what's wrong with me. If this video has found you today, it's not a coincidence. Carl Jung believed that nothing in our lives happens by accident. That every encounter, every experience, even every video is a reflection of something our unconscious mind wants us to see. So, maybe this video isn't something you found. Maybe it found you. Because right now, there's a part of you that's quietly calling out for something deeper, something that your conscious mind has been too distracted to notice. And this moment, this is where the real journey begins. Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Most people don't realize how true this is. We go through life thinking we're in control, choosing jobs, friends, relationships, but deep down our hidden fears, childhood wounds, and unspoken desires are quietly pulling the strings. That's why you keep repeating the same patterns. The same kind of heartbreak, the same kind of disappointment, the same kind of emptiness after chasing goals that don't fill you. It's not because you're broken. It's because your soul has been trying to wake you up. Every struggle you face isn't random. It's a message. Every person who hurt you isn't just bad luck, they were a mirror. And every moment you felt lost was the universe's way of bringing you back to yourself. Jung understood that the human journey isn't about finding happiness. It's about finding wholeness. And that wholeness begins when you finally stop running from your shadow. Let's be honest, most people never pause to face their inner darkness. We bury it under distractions, achievements, or endless scrolling. But Jung would say, that shadow you're avoiding is the very part of you that holds your greatest potential. Because the truth is, the pain you carry is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's the part of you that's been waiting for your attention, patiently, quietly, for years. And the moment you stop running from it, it starts to transform. Think of it this way. You've probably noticed certain patterns in your life. The same arguments, the same disappointments, the same kind of loneliness. Jung called this synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that appear when your inner world is trying to communicate with you. This video finding you right now, that's synchronicity too. You may think it's just another random clip on your feed, but your psyche knows better. Because maybe deep down, something inside you whispered, "I need this." And it's true you do. Because what you're about to hear isn't just another motivational talk. It's a mirror, reflecting the part of you that's been quietly waiting for someone to say, "You're not lost. You're just in the process of remembering who you are." The world will often tell you that you're falling behind, that you need to do more, earn more, become more. But Jung would tell you something different. You don't need to become more. You need to return to what you already are. You see, when you were a child, you were whole. You didn't question your worth. You didn't pretend to be someone else. But slowly, as you grew, the world began to shape you, telling you who you should be, what's acceptable, what's normal. So you buried pieces of yourself just to be loved. That's how the shadow is born. Not from evil, but from rejection, from the parts of you you had to hide just to survive. And now, all these years later, those parts are still waiting for you, waiting for your recognition, your forgiveness, your love. That's why this video found you now, because maybe you're finally ready. Ready to stop pretending, ready to stop numbing yourself, ready to meet the version of you that you left behind. Carl Jung believed that every soul has its own rhythm, and that life will keep repeating lessons until you're ready to hear them. So if you feel stuck, alone, or confused right now, it's not the end, it's the invitation. An invitation to stop searching outside and start listening inside. Because everything you've been waiting for, peace, purpose, clarity, they've all been here the whole time. Buried beneath the noise, beneath the masks, beneath the idea of who you think you're supposed to be. This isn't a random moment. It's your turning point. So if you're hearing these words, it means life has decided it's time. Time to slow down. Time to see yourself. Truly see yourself. Time to walk the road that leads not away from pain, but through it. Because as Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. And that's exactly what you're about to do, because this is not just a video, this is the message your soul has been waiting for. There comes a point in every person's life when the noise of the world fades, and a quiet voice inside begins to whisper, "There's something more." At first, you try to ignore it. You distract yourself with work, with people, with endless scrolling and chasing. But no matter how much you do, the emptiness doesn't go away. That voice doesn't stop because it isn't asking for attention. It's asking for truth. And the truth is, you've spent years trying to become the person everyone wanted you to be, instead of becoming who your soul was meant to be. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But the path to that truth isn't easy. It requires everything you've been avoiding. It requires you to sit with your pain instead of running from it. To listen to your loneliness instead of numbing it. To look at the mirror and not just see your reflection, but the stories you've buried behind your eyes. You see, your mind and your soul are always in conversation. Every fear, every ache, every sudden sadness, it's not random. It's your unconscious trying to speak to you through emotion. That's why no matter how far you run, life keeps repeating lessons until you finally understand the message. You meet the same kind of people. You fall into the same cycles. You feel the same emptiness. Because until you face what's buried, you'll keep reliving it in different forms. And the moment you begin to notice this, that's the moment of awakening. Jung called this the process of individuation, the journey of integrating your hidden parts to become whole again. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. It's about being able to say, yes, I'm light and dark, I'm kind, but I've also been cruel. I'm strong, but I've also been afraid. And that's okay, because that's what makes you human. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to heal overnight. You just need to take one honest step to stop pretending you're fine when you're not. Because pretending only delays your transformation. The truth is, you've been fighting battles that no one sees. You've carried pain that no one thanked you for. You've smiled when you wanted to break down, but life noticed. And that's why this video found you now, because you're finally strong enough to stop surviving and start awakening. Jung spoke of the self, the deeper center of our being, beyond ego and identity. It's the part of you that watches silently while the rest of you struggles. It's calm, it's wise. It knows things you've forgotten. When you stop chasing and start listening, that self begins to guide you. You start noticing small signs, a sudden idea, a feeling, a coincidence. These are not random. They're symbols. Jung believed the unconscious speaks through symbols, dreams, synchronicities, intuition. So maybe you've been seeing repeated numbers. Maybe you've been thinking of someone and they suddenly text you. Maybe you've felt an unexplainable pull to change something in your life. That's your deeper self speaking, saying it's time. But change never comes gently. It comes through loss, endings, and confusion. The people who were never meant for your next chapter start leaving. The things that once made sense suddenly don't. You start to feel disconnected from the old world, and that's painful. But that pain is proof that you're evolving. You're shedding old layers, the identities that were never truly yours. And though it hurts, it's the only way you can meet your true self again. Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." And he was right. Because awakening isn't about becoming happy. It's about becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of freedom. One day, you'll look back and realize that everything that once broke you was actually guiding you. Every rejection was redirection. Every failure was a lesson. Every lonely night was a conversation between you and your soul. You'll see that nothing was wasted. Even the moments you thought were meaningless were shaping you quietly, perfectly, in ways you couldn't yet understand. And maybe that's the beauty of this strange, invisible design. That even in your chaos, there's a pattern. Even in your pain, there's purpose. Even in your silence, there's growth. Because the unconscious is always guiding you whether you see it or not. So stop trying to rush your healing. Stop forcing clarity. Stop demanding answers before their time. Life isn't a straight line. It's a spiral. You keep returning to the same lessons, but each time you understand them a little more deeply. You fall, you rise, you repeat. And that repetition isn't failure. It's transformation. Because every time you fall, a smaller part of your old self dies, and every time you rise, a little more light enters your darkness. That's the real meaning of growth, not becoming someone new, but remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. So, if this message resonates, if something in your chest feels seen, if something inside you feels awake again, then trust it. Because that's your soul recognizing the truth. That's the part of you that knows this isn't just another video. It's a reminder. A reminder that everything you're going through has meaning. That you are not late. That you are not broken. You're just becoming whole again. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." And this moment right here, right now, is your awakening. There's something beautiful about reaching the point where you finally stop searching for who you're supposed to be and start remembering who you've always been. You see, your true self was never lost. It was only covered by expectations, fears, disappointments, and the noise of the world. But beneath all of that, it's still there, calm, clear, and quietly waiting for you to return. Carl Jung believed that the greatest discovery we can make is realizing that what we seek out there has always lived in here. You were never meant to chase meaning. You were meant to realize it in the silence, in the solitude, in the smallest moments when you finally sit still and feel what your soul has been trying to tell you. Take a breath. Because right now, something sacred is happening. You are no longer just a character in your life story. You're starting to see yourself as the observer, the creator, the consciousness behind it all, Jung said. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And that's what this moment is, a reaction between your conscious mind and your unconscious truth. Something inside you is transforming, quietly, but irreversibly. Maybe for the first time, you're not trying to escape the discomfort. You're not hiding from your loneliness. You're not chasing validation. You're simply being present. And in that presence, healing begins. All your life, you've been taught to look outward for approval, for success, for peace. But what if the very peace you've been chasing can only be found in surrender, not giving up, but letting go of control, letting go of what you think life should look like, letting go of timelines, comparisons, and expectations that were never yours. Because when you finally let go, life stops being something that happens to you. It becomes something that happens through you. And that's when you begin to see the quiet design behind everything. That heartbreak, it opened your heart. That failure, it redirected you. That silence, it taught you to listen. Every moment was preparing you, not to survive the world, but to understand it. And the more you understand, the less you fear. You don't have to rush anymore. You don't have to prove anything, because everything that's meant for you will find you, just like this video did. You were meant to hear these words right now, not a day earlier, not a moment later, but exactly now when your heart was finally open to receive them. Jung believed that the unconscious brings us what we need, not what we want. And maybe this message is what you needed to remind you that you are not behind, you are not lost, and you are not broken. You are unfolding, exactly as you should. So take a deep breath and let this sink in. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are the awareness that's witnessing them. And that awareness, that still, quiet presence inside you, is who you've been all along. The world outside will always be loud. It will pull at you, distract you, demand your attention. But deep within, there's a place the noise can't reach. A place where you are whole, even when you feel broken. That's the place Jung called the self. And every struggle you've endured has been guiding you back to it piece by piece, moment by moment. So don't curse your journey. Don't rush to erase your scars, because every scar is a symbol, proof that you've lived, that you've felt, that you've endured. And if you ever doubt your worth, remember this: you're still here. After everything, you're still here. And that means the story isn't over yet. There will be days when you forget all of this. Days when the darkness feels stronger than the light. When old wounds reopen and doubt creeps in again. That's okay, because healing isn't a straight line, it's a rhythm. And even in the moments you feel lost again, your soul still knows the way. You don't need to have faith in the path. Just take the next step. Because the moment you choose awareness over avoidance, love over fear, presence over distraction, you've already changed everything. And little by little, your outer world will begin to mirror your inner one. Because as Jung said, the world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, it will tell you. But once you know, nothing and no one can tell you anymore. So maybe you didn't find this video. Maybe it truly found you. Because somewhere deep inside, your unconscious knew it was time. Time to awaken, time to remember, time to finally see that you are not lost. You're simply on your way home, and home isn't a place, it's a state of being. It's when your mind and heart finally stop fighting each other and sit together in silence. That's when you'll realize you were never searching for meaning. Meaning was searching for you. So when you leave this video, don't rush back into the noise. Sit for a moment, breathe. Feel the quiet in your chest. That's you reconnecting with yourself. And when life feels uncertain again, remember these words: nothing comes by accident. Not the pain, not the people, not even this moment. Because this video didn't appear randomly. It appeared because your soul whispered, "I'm ready." And it is. You are. You've always been